The other day, I had the opportunity to watch Danae Jackson's interview on the Future Wifey Podcast, where she opened up and explained all of the trauma that she experienced in her relationship with her husband, Derek Jackson. Now, many of you may not be familiar with her story. However, those of you who are would understand what she actually went through. And I was really moved by it because during the time when she was spiraling out of control, so to speak, everyone looked at her, including myself, as a nut job. As a person who has survived from narcissistic abuse myself, I don't have room to judge another woman and her plight and what she has gone through. I see so many women and people making commentary on her and what she should have done and how she should have moved. You can't judge people for what they go through. I've heard some people say, well, she should have kept that story to herself and she shouldn't share her story. Well, you're a selfish person because in order to help others, you have to share your story. You have to encourage people and show them and prove to them that they can overcome the abuse that they suffered. I also see people sharing snippets of the interview, only the parts that make her look bad, instead of sharing the entire interview where she actually takes accountability for the part that she played in the demise of the relationship. It's very unfortunate, but a lot of us bring in our childhood trauma into relationships hoping that they will work out, but we don't resolve the problems that we have before we get into these relationships. And many people don't realize that they have childhood traumas that they need to deal with. The judgment that I see other women talking about her, stating that, oh, that couldn't have been me and I would have never gone through that. You're probably going through something similar yourself, but you're just not honest enough with yourself to say that I too am suffering just like her. In this life, I've learned to never say never when it comes to relationships. A person can be here today and gone tomorrow with the blink of an eye. So to everyone that is ridiculing her and passing judgment on her and what she should have done and what she shouldn't have done, don't do that. For we all have mountains to climb and valleys to go through, especially when it comes to relationships. Never say never, because it could happen to you. It happened to me, and I was in a 16-year narcissistic relationship. Didn't know what it was until I got out of it. And had anyone told me that I would have gone through what I went through before I got into that relationship, I would have said, no, not me. Never. Although I didn't go through anything near what she has gone through, I still could not have imagined that I went through the things that I went through in my relationships. That's why I implore you women to stop judging and start looking at your own life, looking at your own relationships, and see where you can work on things for yourself. I didn't want to make a long rant. I just want to say to Danae Jackson that I'm proud of you for sharing your journey, and also to encourage women to start supporting one another and stop being so hard on each other. And also to encourage everyone to go over to the Dear Future Wifey Podcast, I believe it's called, and look at the interview in its entirety. It is a 2-part interview, but especially for the women who suffer, go take a look at it. It may help you.